Why are we here? To seek our path? After all, people say that life is about encounters. And finding your path comes from sharing. From knowing there is someone waiting for us, even if it takes a little while. What is our role here? To get things going? To open doors? Or to make room for someone who just needs a chance? Are we here to learn how to fly? Or just to remind people that they already have wings? Why are we meeting here today? To overcome obstacles? Or because we believe it can be different? And to go one step further than we did yesterday? We're here because changes happen when we take action. Because some problems are just too big to be tackled alone. That's why we must come together. This is why we're here. This is our mission.
Let's welcome to the stage Adriana Greenberg, the Regional Director for Facebook Latin America. Yes. Woo.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Wow. One more female. Are you ready to our voices, our accents, everything? Why are we here today? I am here today to talk about embracing empathy. And I think it's so good when we feel good about doing good things to the others. And I'm going to start with my own experiences. When I started over my career, I remember volunteering to an institution called ALEC in Sao Paulo. You can see by my accent, I'm Brazilian. And I volunteered in these beautiful institutions that welcome newborns that have HIV positive. At that time, HIV positive were children that they had trouble to survive. Because they treat these kids, the newborns were most of the time able to be adopted. And I remember my time there as a team player, working for that newborns that didn't have the love that they need after born. And I felt so good about it. I felt so good about being part of that team. And when my child was adopted, it was a big thing for our lives. I volunteered for a few hours, and it was an amazing experience for me. So that's the feeling I want to bring here. When you do good for people, you feel really good. What happened to the market? So when we are here in the market, we have always to find a way to bring our brands to the next level. We are always sought for our products to be more diverse, to be better for the people. And how do you feel about that when we do good with our brands? When you look into research, consumers say that they are engaging more with brands that they feel the love, that they see this diverse, that they see the product has this perspective. And I have a research that says that 70% of millennials, they indicate a willingness to spend more with brands that are attached to cause that they believe. And if you look into the questions, the hard questions that we have to do every day. Now, what are the brands doing? We look at that and say, what are the brands doing to support society? What should we do to make communities stronger and bring communities together? How can our products and services can be more inclusive? How can our message be more diverse? At Facebook, we think about these questions every day, every single day. This is part of our mission. And we are humble that every day people are connecting to our platforms and sharing their stories. We have from Instagram to messenger groups and WhatsApp conversations, more than 2 billion people across the world connected and sharing their moments. But it's not only for brands, because when people come together, it makes our platforms more special. No, it's not just for the business, it's for the business and also for the people. Across our family of apps, we are committed to create vibrant and valuable places for businesses and people to engage and thrive together. But it's not for the business only. We are also thinking about giving access to everyone. So when you look into our mission of giving people the power to build communities, to everybody, not only some of us, we have our Internet.org project. This Internet.org initiative has the goal of bringing internet and their benefits to all of the people across the world. And through this effort, we have connected more than 100 million people already. This is based on our best estimates. When business thrive, people thrive. So that's the combination. That's not only one or the other. When we see people thriving, we see business thriving. When we see the opposite, it works better. And it's working. We are seeing that a lot of small business hire people after joining Facebook. Actually, our research says that 57% of those small business, after joining Facebook, they hire more people. And also it says that small business have increased their sales because of Facebook. And we want to do more. Those are two examples of the work we are doing in Latin America. Estação Hack, like Hack Station in English, and Innovation Lab, both in São Paulo and Buenos Aires, are two examples of the work we are doing to help people to thrive. Those two initiatives, they have the intention to give education and help people to learn from mentoring and guiding. And these two spaces are also free co-working spaces that they can go and learn and do coding classes, for example. If you are in São Paulo, go visit. It's in Avenida Paulista, and also in Buenos Aires, you can go and visit and see how it is. And then, we also want to talk to you about Ximin's business. This project is for woman entrepreneur that wants to make connections and also be educated and supported about their small businesses. So we have this project across the globe for 2 years now, and we have grown a lot the base of entrepreneur women that got support and guidance from others. We also have the Community Boost. Community Boost is a in-person training session that we are doing in many cities in the US. Happy that we are expanding this project to other places as well, not only US. We are having a Miami session in December, and we want you to be there. The idea of our Community Boost is to help people, providing them the skills to leverage our platforms and do better with their businesses. So there is a research here that says that 81% of small and medium-sized business believe Facebook helps them to connect to their local community. And that's why we are doing this training to them. And we're not just concentrating in business. Next month, right after Thanksgiving, we are having Giving Tuesday. I was playing behind the scenes saying, yeah, after we spend a lot of money in the Cyber Monday, we are going to be thinking about giving and donate to other people. And last year, we raised 45 million on Facebook on the Giving Tuesday event. And it was an increase of 600% from one year to the other. So doing good for the business is doing good for the people. And a lot of brands are trying to do that. We see brands like P&G, Nike, Budweiser, and B&B. All of these brands have beautiful campaigns doing good. And today, I want to invite also you to learn more about what Visa is doing to embrace empathy and sought to humanize their brand. So I'm going to ask for Luciana Rezende. She is the Senior Vice President of Marketing for Latin America and the Caribbean, who will talk to me about the work Visa is doing. So Luciana, please join me. Meanwhile, we watch about Visa. Welcome, Lu. So let's see the video.
You think that's not much? What about 1 cent every time someone pays with Visa? Even better, how about every time someone pays with Visa, 1 cent goes to charity? Well, that's just what we did. It worked like this. You just had to go to the site and choose a course. You didn't need to buy anything you weren't already going to buy, do anything you wouldn't do already, or donate anything. For every purchase made with Visa, Visa donated 1 cent. You're probably still thinking that 1 cent isn't much, right? Well, let's hear some other numbers. What if I told you, straight off, over 175,000 people registered and they made over 10 million transactions, all of which sent donations directly to partner organizations. Speaking of them, we thought it only fitting to use the organization's leaders in the campaign. After all, they're the best people to speak about their own causes. Even in a country where 40% of purchases are made in cash, but with our campaign, the people who participated used their cards 13% more. During the campaign, Visa received over 2,000 requests to include new partners in the initiative, which will be integrated into the next phase of the campaign. And that's how, by helping those who want to help and creating a network of partnerships, Visa turned a simple advertising campaign into one of the biggest solidarity chains in Brazil. And we want to help much more. We have the potential to raise 60 million reais. Want to help? Visa helps you.
Hello, Lu. Thanks for joining us today. Before you talk to us about the campaign, I would love to learn more about what's your role at Visa and what you do.
Well, I'm the Senior Vice President for Marketing for Latin America and Caribbean. And so I have the pleasure to be enabling all these markets, to do their marketing and bring just beautiful ideas to life. That's basically what I do. And I think I want to thank you for inviting us and to talk about this campaign that I think it's fantastic and everybody feels super proud of. So it's a great pleasure to be here. And I think this is the type of campaigns and ideas that everybody should think about, right? And not because it's about only doing good, it's because it's smart. I mean, when you find the right combination of things that can be good to your business, have authenticity to your brand, these types of initiatives are good for business, are good for the brand, are fantastic for the organizations because people love to work on these things. Are good, obviously, for the causes, right, that we are trying to support. So it's a really win-win-win type of idea. Right.
So is this the thinking behind deciding to have a campaign that is about social good?
I think what's behind is, I think everybody wants to do good. I mean, by nature, I think human beings like to do good things, right? But then I think it's important to do good things that are authentic to what we are as organizations, what we are as brands, because otherwise it's a fake effort and it tends to be short-lived. Right? Mm-hmm. So among all the ideas that always come up about doing good, because many come up, this one really stood out because it was just so connected what Visa is all about, right? And what the brand is all about. So we could truly speak from a place of ownership. And I'll say a little bit more about it. The mission of Visa is to connect the world to the most reliable and safe digital payments network that enables individuals, business, and societies to thrive, right? So if you think about this mission and the mechanics of this initiative that you saw there, it's all about reliability and security. People, when they donate, they are very concerned if the money is really going to the right places or not. It's about seamlessness. That's also something very true to Visa, how to make payments super easy, right? And in this case, donation super easy. It's a scale thing. Visa is also a scale business, right? I mean, 1 cent, as you saw, is not much, but if you think about the billions of transactions that happen, then it becomes meaningful, right? And it's a sustaining way to do good, because you saw in the video also 40% of the transactions in Brazil are still done in cash, right? So what we're telling consumers is, next time, instead of going to the bakery that we know in Brazil, the padarias, and buy your bread with cash, use your Visa. You're already going to get the same thing you are going to buy, but you're going to help. And Visa is going to help us. So it's so integrated. So we thought it was a very genuine place, and it has all the characteristics, and that's why we decided to embrace this one.
And how did you know that consumers would engage with the campaign, would embrace this cause?
So we knew that consumers, and we can see all the literature, millennials, but in general, people want to do good things, right? But the reason why they don't, the barriers, is because it's time consuming, to decide how to help. Sometimes it's also you need to put the money there, right? There's the logistics, and so people end up not doing it because there is not an easy way to do it sometimes, right? So we thought that this proposition would solve these barriers. So we had that. Then there's the layer on how you then talk to consumers about it, right? For them to understand, for them to believe. And we have dedicated some time to understand and fine-tune. We had talked also to stakeholders to see how the other perceptions would be, to improve it, and we keep doing that. And even with Facebook, we started with small scale, doing things, listening what consumers would tell us back, fine-tuning it, and then really going big, right? So I think there was a lot of pre-work there, but we knew the origin of it, and the insight was very solid, so the chances were good.
And we see more and more brand managers trying to use this same tool. Why do you think that's happening?
I think there are two things happening. I think one is there is a little bit of a trend of people taking things on their hands, right? Taking action. There is a trend in the world of people relying less in governments and say, okay, let me do my part. And also because of the social networks, etc., people feel more powerful, right? That they can really start a movement, they can do something. So there is this in the back of everybody's minds and companies' minds as well, in one side. And then on the other side, there is some good examples that you can do this and also do good for the business. So it's a great combination. So I think just two things are happening, and then more and more people are trying to jump into this strategy.
Do we have in the audience any brand manager who tried to do a social good campaign? Raise your hand if you do. No? Yeah. And it's challenging. That's my second question. Because how do you measure it? It's a big question. How people were going to prove from the marketing teams that you're doing a social good campaign and this is translating into business.
Yes.
You did, guys. You were P&G. You did that. I know.
And it is challenging because many times consumers, they think it's a great idea theoretically, but then they don't act on it, right? So I think particular for causes in Brazil, what we're doing is we are very closely tracking, obviously, brand health, that we track people exposed to the campaign versus non-exposed, and we see a lift. We see the people exposed, they really like the brand more, they are more likely to use the brand and things like that. We also track transactions because, being a payment network, we can see people using the card, right? So for people that have enrolled in the program, we've seen a lift in transactions. So people are really doing what you're saying, now going to the bakery and using the card. We are seeing it in the numbers, and this is encouraging. We're also tracking the effects, the impact, right, of our campaign or our donations, because otherwise, what's the point? So I even have an example that's very telling. There is one of the 15 or 16, around 15 organizations we have. One's called Verter, in Brazil. And what they do is they do events and they do eye exams and they do glasses and, for people, etc. And they used to do like 3 events a year at a certain chapters, etc. Now they're doing 12, So like imagine how important the effort has been. And I think you need to track, so I would say track the brand, track the business results that you have set in the beginning, and track the impact, right? Because that's what you're doing it. I think it's difficult to scale it to a size that's meaningful, and it's very tough to maintain it over time. And I think that's the challenge we have now, right? We are starting the 2nd year. How can we keep going? And that's a challenge.
Do you expect to extend this campaign to other countries or create from scratch something new?
I think we need to make it bigger in Brazil, that's fully committed to it. I think it's our mission now. And keep learning and modifying, and it's a journey for sure. You need to be. That's why it's so important to find the sweet spot where this thing becomes sustainable. Otherwise, it's just a one shot, and you go to the next thing, And so that's where we are right now.
One question that I have is, when you do this kind of campaigns, there are some challenges, because it's possible that people don't agree with you or start to have a voice against it.
Yes.
Did you have this concern? How did you convince the leaders of the company to take this responsibility and do it?
We absolutely had this concern. I think it's a super real concern because there is a lot of skepticism around these initiatives. Rightly so. I don't blame. People have been sometimes investing or giving money on things that never happen, right? So, and then there is a skepticism about the company doing that. So we actually, from the beginning, we did a lot of social listening. Actually, that's another measure we have. We always see, and we need to have we need to know that there will be some negative comments, right? But you need to gauge, like, what's the level that's okay? What are the types of comments? But also have a dialogue. Don't let this thing hanging there. Right? I think these are the things that are really important to manage, and also to set to the organization to say, that's kind of, the thresholds we are going to be managing here, right? And be transparent about it. And I think we have done this in our effort. That's why you had the buy-in from the organization, yes.
So in the end, how do you feel about this campaign?
Oh, I feel very proud. I think everybody that works on it feel extremely good. The facts inside, and one thing that was surprising is just so, when you enter this, you enter in a community, right, of like people doing just good things, right? And everybody kind of supports each other. We have received videos in Visa like saying, you guys should not stop doing it. There will be bad days, keep going at it. The most difficult is to keep going. I know, or we received just 2,000 organizations ask for help, and they were like, even if we cannot be part of the program, we just want to express. That's fantastic, because having a big brand like Visa, paying attention to it has an effect in the whole, ecosystem. So it has, and even our partners the merchants, the banks, they have been very supportive. I was super surprised. Celebrities sometimes, can I just go and endorse it because I believe in it? And you're like, it would be nice if you do it, right? So that was very, very impressive, actually.
Great. Now I'm going to invite you to play with me a game that we always play at Facebook. Speed, Fire, Chat.
Oh.
So the game is the following. Sorry for my back here to you guys.
Yes.
I'm going to do a question that has 2 options, and she has to choose just one. So, and it's going to be speed. So I'm going to ask you first, World Cup or the Olympics?
World Cup. That's easy.
Aha, Maradona or Pelé?
Pelé.
Brazilians, I know.
I'm sorry for the Argentinians.
This is tough one. Sao Paulo or Miami?
I think I'll go for Salvador.
Come on. Are you from Salvador?
No, I'm from São Paulo.
Come on. Donating time or donating money?
Both. I think a little bit of each is good,
Visa digital wallet or Visa card?
I would say as long as it's Visa, we embrace all forms. No need to choose.
Okay, you have to choose one now. Ipanema or Miami Beach?
Ipanema. I'll need to stay with Ipanema.
Caminha. Croquetas or feijoada?
Feijoada for sure.
Now I want to see Facebook or Instagram?
Oh, I'm Facebook still. Hardcore.
Feed or stories?
Feed.
Phone call or text?
I think we should take the time to make some phone calls sometimes, like the feedback live has some value, but
Still nice.
text is more, more pragmatic sometimes.
And the last one, retail shopping or online shopping?
Online. This one is
Thank
easy
you
for
so
me.
much, Lu, for doing this
Thank you.
with me. Thank you for the audience. Thank you.
Very much. Adriana and Luciana, let's hear it up for them. Thank you very much. Wow.
Thank you.
What an end to this morning's procedures. I hope you've enjoyed that. We've certainly had some powerful females on this stage today. Tomorrow we are back in here first thing in the morning, but this is where it gets complex, so you might need to listen just a little longer. I promise I won't be long. So we now go into what we are calling FOM Interact, which allows you the opportunity to network with everyone and not to feel bad about missing out on any content. And you can also pick up some coffee. As you can hear, the music is already pumping on the other side. There is a coffee shop here. There will be snacks around here. At 12 o'clock, the Facebook stage opens, but those eager beavers of you can go and play an Instagram game if you wish to do that while you have your coffee. And then we have lunch. We've got the ESPN lunch around the pool, which is also filming their NBA show live there. And there's going to be an NBA legend in the house in Alonso Mourning. So any of you basketball fans who want to get anything signed, Alonso is going to do that. And then later on this evening, after lunch, we have our other zones collecting out, so 3 zones. Then we have happy hour, which is 5:30, 6:30, courtesy of Spotify. And then, for those of you coming to the awards, we start the reception in the Facebook stage, and then we come in here. This will be transformed. So enjoy, people. I hope you enjoyed the first morning of Festival of Media LATAM 2018. Yes!